Hello, here's my little model of Shakespeare's globe, and this is all about dramatic irony, which is one of the most useful things you can think about in drama because you get it in so much of the drama that you study. Here we've got a little princess having a lovely time, la la la, unaware of the danger creeping up on her. This is dramatic irony, when the audience knows something that one of the characters does not know. Now, you might say, so what? Well, what does it do? What does it do to the audience? It makes you feel the tension. That's why I've placed her a long way away, and as the T-Rex comes towards her, more and more tension is unbearable. So let's just think about that in relation to the plays that you study. In Romeo and Juliet, for example, when Juliet is pretending to be dead. Nobody ever lies down in Shakespeare unless they're dead or pretending to be dead. Romeo thinks that she's dead. We know that she's not. It's horrible. Then there's another example of dramatic irony. If you're studying Macbeth, well, pretty much the whole play is ironic because we know that he is damning himself by committing the murder of Duncan, but he seems to forget all about it. Now, in Shakespeare's day, people would have been much more worried about heaven and hell. They would have believed in it, much more widespread, the belief in it. And there's a physical reminder of that in the stage. If you look, this was referred to as the heavens. It's blue with gold stars, and there's a little angel there. Sometimes an actor would come down from that trapdoor and represent an angel. And what you'd also have, if I can just get my little Macbeth actor to step aside for a minute, was you'd have this trapdoor, and that's where the little devils and ghosts would come out of, and probably that's where the witches would disappear into as well in Macbeth. So you'd have this reminder all the time of heaven and hell. And in fact, when Macbeth makes his wonderful speeches and his soliloquies, oh, shall I commit the murder or shall I not? Look where he's standing. He might even be standing on the trapdoor, which was referred to as hell. And the audience, it wouldn't be that far away from that kind of dramatic irony where you've got our friend the dinosaur creeping up. It's much worse, in fact, because whereas you had the little princess who didn't realise that the T-Rex was about to bite her head off, really the worst that could happen is that she gets eaten, and that's the end of that, chomp chomp. But it's much worse what could happen to Macbeth because he could be damned for all eternity. So the stakes are so high, and that means, you know, if he loses, if he does the wrong thing, he's going to pay for it forever. And Shakespeare doesn't show us the angel or the devil that threatens Macbeth, but it's there in the language. So all the time when you're reading the play, look out for references to angels and devils. For example, Lady Macbeth says at one point to him, "'Tis the eye of childhood that fears a painted devil." Whereas he says something about being able to look on that which might appall the devil. And they're always going about stars and the heavens. So sometimes as a homework, we might look at something like this in the lesson and then look at some examples of how the words are effective on the stage, and then I'll ask you to go and find some more.